There you go.
I think as real estate agents, we can get so consumed by everything so shiny.
Hmm.
And I think my headphones are gonna die, so that's exciting. Um uh I think we forget about the basic things that really do still work, and we do obviously need to do all of we still need to be marketing enhanced. And marketing is prospecting nowadays with social media. I definitely think it's a very forward-facing marketing technique. But just the simple thing of talking to people, the thing that we avoid doing the most yields the biggest, and probably the fastest results.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep. And I thought you're nobody other than you can share it like you can.
I don't know about that, but I will certainly try my bestest here to deliver some value for you. Quick question, then I'll get rolling if that's okay, Katrina. You ready? Okay. Um, do we have a hard stop? Meaning like anything past the top of the hour, if I shouldn't go that long, but just in case.
I can probably go 10 minutes over, but then I need to run.
As in 60 minutes from now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to take that long. Okay, but I just didn't know if like because what is it, 10:30? Do I need to be done by 10:30 your time so I have like 21 minutes, or is it okay if I go like 35, 40 minutes just in case?
We're
Sounds
good.
like that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay if you go a couple minutes over. It's okay if you finish sooner. We're all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to just fill space, but if I need to rush it, I can. Otherwise, we'll just do it the traditional way here. So, well, first of all, anybody watching this, I know we've got a couple of you live here, but I never know who's going to see these things. And Katrina, I want you to obviously feel free to do whatever you want to do to get this in the hands of people that this may be able to help. So if this is our first time hanging out, Claudia, got to know you a little bit here. Jake, hello. I've got a long track record with Katrina here, and most of you don't need me to say this, but I'm going to say it again anyways. Powerhouse, just absolute servant-driven leader. Um, she'll give you the shirt off her back. She's as pure and authentic as they come. And when she reached out to me asking if I would be willing to do this, I'm like, say no more. The answer is, of course, yes. So, because her and I ran together, she was a locker room coach for a number of years and just instrumental in helping us get to where we are and develop some of the courses and content that we now have. Katrina's DNA is all over it. And so I'm forever grateful and still consider her a great friend and again, an amazing leader. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, Coach. I'm still going to call you Coach K, Coach Katrina. And so, yeah, my name's Jake, founder, CEO of the Locker Room Real Estate Coaching and Training Company. Also, co founder in the Locker Room Leadership and Coaching Academy with my business partner, Kit Fusil. That is an ICF accredited institution. Probably means nothing to most of you, but ICF is the International Coaching Federation. It is like the gold standard and near impossible to get accredited. It took us over 2 years to do that. So, that in and of itself was a feat. But now leaders can go through that and we can issue them an ICF certification as a result. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, spent a number of years down there in Jacksonville, went to UNF, lived in St. Augustine, the whole background there, played baseball, hello, the locker room. So now it's kind of a symbolic um, meaning for me, and I incorporate a lot of sports references. So there's that. So I'm here today to present what we call the 5 to 25 challenge. This is absolutely and in my opinion, I believe Katrina feels the same, the simplest path to earning six figures in real estate. And if somebody out there is already doing that, it's to add an additional six figures. Or maybe another way of saying this, mathematically, as you will see, it's to plus 25 your sales, right? Why are these numbers I'm throwing out important? Well, they're not if that's not important to you, but they are important or significant in the grand scheme of things, and here's why. You look at NAR statistics and things like that. A couple things stand out to me the most. Over 90+% of agents sell 24 or fewer homes per year. And in most traditional marketplaces, average sales prices, you're closing a couple dozen or more homes. You're not just earning six figures, you're netting six figures. I'm talking after expenses and taxes. That's very different, right? That's cash money in the bank. So that's important. Is it's a very small percentage who actually get to that level. Oh, we lost Claudia. And go ahead.
She'll jump back on
She'll
her
jump back on.
Wi-Fi. There she goes.
That's okay. We lost her. Now she's back.
Happened.
I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. But I was just saying there's a very small percentage who actually ever achieve that level of income and actually can make a career and a livelihood around real estate, in addition to the other number, which is 87%. 87% of agents don't make it in this business. And Katrina and I back in the day look around and is like, we can't sit here idly. We can't be a part of the problem. Let's be a part of the solution. And so we began to put our heads together, beta test some things. And what I'm going to share with everybody today is a formula that's no longer theory. It's a formula that I no longer have to convince and twist people's arms to believe. I've got enough case studies and examples now that is real. And what I'm about to share with you, I'm warning you, could be so simple in its as a concept that your mind may try to play tricks on you and say, no, this guy's crazy. It couldn't be that easy, could it? All right. But we are masters as human beings. We're too busy being that we overcomplicate things as a way to justify future failure. So we can say, no, it couldn't be that simple. So that later when we're struggling and falling into victimhood, we can say, see, I told you so. I told you, Uncle Ed. I told you, Cousin Marty, that this was hard. And I'm just like everybody else. I'm not the exception. So I'm going to dive in. We good? Let's dive in.
Yep.
Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Present. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. So we are here, the 5 to 25 challenge. I'm going to walk you through what the heck it is. And again, giving you the simplest path, simple formula to add what could be 25 additional sales to your production. So what is it? First of all, what is it? I'm here today to show you how making 5 contacts a day, 5 real estate conversations per day over time, done consistently, will yield you 25 sales. Hence the 5 to 25 challenge concept. All right. But let's go backwards before we go forwards. I just told you some of these stats. You can see it on your screen, but I'm going to ask either of you feel free to weigh in. And if you're watching the replay of this, I want you to share with Katrina or whoever what your answers would be. Why? Why is it that the numbers are so astoundingly negative? Why most people don't make a career of this? They don't net the amount of money they want to net, nor do they last in this career long enough. Why? Just shout out a few reasons you think.
I would say like you really have to have patience and you have to be motivated and disciplined to do the work every day because nobody's holding you accountable. And that business is never going to turn around if you don't do the work.
Mic
So I think
drop
it's
moment
easy.
right there.
People get discouraged very easily.
Yeah, you just made like 5 points all in that. I mean, and you're spot on accurate. There's no necessarily right or wrong, but spot on. Why else? Katrina, what? I mean, just anything she maybe
Well,
didn't say.
I think another reason is building something for yourself always takes longer than you thought it would, and it's always harder than you thought it would be.
It's true.
So we underestimate how long it's going to take, and we overestimate on, well, no, we underestimate on both.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it takes so long. Yeah, we underestimate, right? Wait, what am I trying to say?
or overestimate how easy we thought it was going to be, I think is where you were going with that.
Yeah, and then also too, I think like the actual things that we need to do, they're really hard to do for the period of time that you need to do them to reap the results.
Yeah.
You know, most people quit too soon, and that's just the truth of real estate or anything that you're building that requires, you know, when you're working for a salary job or you're paid hourly, you just show up, you do your job, you get your paycheck. That's it. That's not how real estate is. It's so multi-dimensional
Mhm.
and challenging because there's so many different aspects of the sales process.
Yeah.
And now we're dealing with different buyers than when I started, different market, different scenarios. So things are always changing. And a lot of people also, they realize real estate's not for them just because they can't pivot and make those changes that need to be made so that they can have the results that they desire.
Yeah. Yep. It's not HGTV. And I'll speak Claudia's language probably a few times today. And I guarantee you've seen as much time, Claudia. We've got an Olympic level talent here, an elite level talent here that you've seen people come to the gym. You probably live a lot of your life in the gym with what you do. Okay. You have to. That's and how many people go to the gym and they're all excited, they're putting in the work, and then all of a sudden, several weeks later, something happens and they just stop going. That's very symbolic to real estate. And as Katrina just pointed out, it's really symbolic to just human behavior at large. We don't commit to things anymore. We're just interested in a whole bunch of stuff and we try to take the path of least resistance. And when something gets hard, we just fold. Well, this business is hard. And that absolutely contributes to that. And a lack of expectations and clarity going into it sets people up for failure. So part of today is giving you clarity so that you're not a victim to lack of knowledge or expectations anymore. And you say, you know what, this is hard, but I'm built for hard. Choose your hard, right? What is that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be hard if I go back into the workforce and get a job, a job where somebody tells me that I've got to be here for this amount of money, for this amount of time, and can I go to the bathroom and can I put pretty please with sugar on top take a vacation? Like gain some freaking perspective. It's hard no matter what. But this is a real career, a real job. It's a noble job where we're helping people with the greatest investment of their life. Okay. So I want to submit to you what is, just very quickly, the real estate agent job description? Well, if you have children or if you ever have children, you've been around children, doesn't matter. All of us at some point have experience with this. But I can say, as a father of two beautiful daughters, they didn't come with an instruction manual. Like you figure it out. I didn't know how to change a nasty diaper. I'm learning every day how to be a parent, how to be a leader in the home, and all of that. Well, I use that kind of silly analogy because that's much like real estate. For the first time in most people's careers, they left, or maybe still have, a job where it came with a job description. I'm going to put you in a box. I just need you to do these things. Here's what I'm willing to pay you in exchange for that. Period. End of story. But now we have this entrepreneurial seizure saying, I'm going to go into business for myself. I'm going to be an entrepreneur, right? That doesn't come with a job description, does it? That doesn't come with a boss breathing down your neck right here telling you what to do every minute of the day or else. If you feel like sleeping in till 10, you can do that. That's your choice. So here's the real estate agent's job description, if there were one, in my opinion. Number one, every day. How often? Every day. We should, number one, lead generate. Surprise, surprise. I got to go talk to people. I got to identify their needs and whether or not I can help them. Every day I've got to lead generate. Number two, every day I've got to follow up. I've got to take the people I talked to yesterday, last week, last month, and continue to communicate with them. Number three, every day I've got to go on appointments. Go on appointments. Number four, every day negotiate contracts. And number five, your favorite and mine, script and role play. Script and role play. We got to practice, man. Practice should make the game easier, not harder. And yet, so many agents resist building their skill set, the very thing that's going to make your conversion higher. And I just never understand that. I don't get it. Now, somebody out there right now is thinking, well, Jake, that's great. There's the five things, but I don't have an appointment today. I don't have a contract to negotiate today. Okay, well, if you don't have an appointment today, see number one and two. Continue to lead gen and follow up until you do. Or see number five, who's to suggest you can't get with Katrina or Claudia or another co-worker and role play an appointment. Hello. Same would be true for number 4. Well, Jake, see, you don't understand. I don't have a contract to negotiate today. Fair. See 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Okay. Like, doesn't mean you can't script practice or role play for 15 minutes, presenting an offer, negotiating, right? Practice this stuff. Create a scenario in your head and bring it to a friend. Say, you got 10 minutes to help me here? Sure, let's go. So there, we can no longer claim, I don't know what to do because I just gave you a real estate job description. The question becomes, did you go to work today? The question becomes, do you plan on going into work tomorrow? And the next day and the next day? Because what happens in a normal situation if I don't want to go to work or I don't perform all of the duties of my job and I just pick and choose the ones I feel like? You're fired. You're fired. You don't have a job. And so to the person who's bitching and moaning right now, excuse my language, that they don't have business, or why did my neighbor not hire me to list their home? Gee, I don't know. Would you hire you? If they had a little spy camera watching what you do and you're not doing these 5 things every day, can you blame them? Insert long dramatic pause. Okay. All right, let's roll. Get off your high horse, Jake. So, a closer look at the 5 to 25 challenge. It simply means it's the slightest of edge. Success, your failure, whatever you want to coin it as, it's the slightest of edge. It's the simple disciplines that are repeated and compounded over time that produce massive results. Claudia doesn't get to go into the gym 1 day a week and expect to get in the kind of shape she wants to be in. Claudia, how often do you go into the gym?
5, 6 days a week.
5, 6 days a week. And I'm guessing your physique, your health, the confidence that you have is directly reflected of that because you go
Hmm.
in 5, 6 days a week. And I'm guessing it also doesn't stop there. You're probably on a pretty rigid nutrition plan or eating regime, correct?
Hmm.
You watch what you put in because you know what you put in is what you get out. Fair?
100%.
Okay, fair enough. So therefore, it's also the simple errors in judgment that are repeated over time that compound into massive failure or disappointments, right? If I have a health and uh, uh, wellness goal to get in the best shape of my life or lose the pounds or whatever, here's what I'm talking about, you guys. It's in the slightest moments. Do I take that bite of cake or do I not? Do I take the staircase or do I get on the elevator? It's those little moments, those little decisions that compound over time to produce what seems like a big and significant result. That's what this looks like here. So this whole 5 to 25 challenge theme is not about the 101 bazillion things you need to do. No, I'm going to distill it down with you to every day what at least one of your areas of focus should be, so you wake up in the morning with intention, knowing exactly what to do, and let the compound effect, let momentum take over and be on your side. We grew up hearing things like from grandma or mom and dad, don't sweat the small stuff. And I get it. I'm splicing. I get it in that context, but I also think there is another context in this conversation today. I want you to sweat the small stuff. It actually is the little things that add up over time and matter. When's the last time you've received a handwritten personal note from somebody? How did that make you feel? Probably pretty good, right? Oh, they took the time to write. They didn't text you. They didn't email you. They took the time to handwrite a note the old-fashioned way and stick it in the mail. That's sweating the small stuff. Why wouldn't we want to do that as real estate professionals and send out 10 handwritten notes a week? Give somebody else that feeling. This is not rocket science here. It's just not hard. But we got to pay attention and sweat the small stuff. Here's a fun game we like to play. Many of you have probably done this growing up as well. So by now you probably know the answer. But pretend you didn't for a minute. If I asked you, hey, would you rather have $1 million cash money right now? See in my briefcase? Or would you rather have a penny? Here's a penny, but that penny is going to double every day for 30 consecutive days. What would most people who don't know this little game, probably answer.
1 million cash.
Yeah, give me the millie. Give me the millie. Why? Because it's
Because it's
now.
instant gratification.
It's instant gratification. We are impatient, spoiled little brats. We've got this thing called a smartphone that if I can't pull something up in 2 clicks and it's here instantly, I'm gone. You've lost me. Well, if you didn't figure it out by now, real estate doesn't exactly work like that, doesn't? No. See, this is not where most of us came from, where I get to work for 2 weeks and I get paid. Work 2 weeks, get paid. Work 2 weeks, get paid. Work 2 weeks, get paid. No, 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 no. This is work, 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 get paid. And then again and again, and eventually it gets easier. It does. Business starts coming to you and it gets easier. But that lift, Claudia, I'm gonna keep picking on you. I've seen,
Okay.
I've never done this. Look at me. Okay. I've never done this, but I have watched on television the strongest man, strongest woman competitions on like ESPN at 2 in the morning when I can't sleep. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And I'll just pick on the dudes out there. You see these big buff dudes, right? With a rope, and behind them is like a fire truck or an airplane or something. They're just tugging on that thing. You with me? I've got to imagine the hardest part of that whole thing is just getting the wheel to make its first rotation, right? But
Yep.
once I get it moving, it gets a little easier and a little easier and a little easier because now I've got momentum, kinetic, probably some fancy word, kinetic energy. I don't even know. Sound like I'm smart.
It's kinetic energy, you're right.
Kinetic energy. There you go. Working for me. That's much like this. So back to my example of $1 million or a penny. Look at this. This is you, real estate agents. Let me explain here in a minute. The person who said, give me the millie was dead wrong because they weren't willing to be patient. They weren't willing to apply the compound effect. They weren't willing to understand it's all about time on task over time. But guess what? Day 15, whoo, I'm in 3 figs. That's not life-changing money. Now, hey, day 21, I'm finally hitting 5 figs. But oh my God, every day it doubles for 30 consecutive days. So by day 35, let's call it 5.4 mil. That person who said, give me the penny was spot on compared to the person with instant gratification said, just give me, I want it now. Translation. This is a real estate agent's journey. Imagine when you get handed that piece of paper that says you passed your exam, you're all excited. Honeymoon. Day 1, let's go. Day 2, I'm still going. Day 3, this is awesome. Uh, 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 and they quit. Who here, I know both of you probably, have done the 75 hard challenge? 75.
I have not.
What, explain to the rest of us, you're familiar with it, right?
Yes.
What is 75 hard? But basically in just layman's terms.
It's just a fitness competition of this list of challenges to do every single day for 75 days straight.
75 days straight. So you mean to tell, so what happens if I just mail it in, I don't feel like it on day 61? What happens?
You fail.
And I have to do what?
You start all over.
You start, hang on a minute. You mean to tell me I have one day where I make a bad judgment, no matter how deep I am into it, it just disrupts the entire thing, and I've got to go back to day 1 and start all over again? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Interesting. If you're watching this right now, do you see the correlation? This is a real estate agent's life when it comes to, gee, I don't know, lead gen, making real estate conversations every day. You get to day 15 and say, I'm tired. Everybody up till now has said no. I haven't even had my first appointment yet. I don't know if this is for me. I might go get a real job. Get it? These are the things we hear. But realize what you just did by making that choice. And oh, by the way, it is a choice. This is a decision you made, not me, not Katrina, not Claudia. You, the individual, made the choice to wake up and not have real estate conversations because you're too busy feeling sorry for yourself, well, congratulations. You just went all the way back to day one. You disrupted the pattern. You broke the cycle. Momentum only works if we're willing to apply time on task over time with the compound effect. You might have been just a day away from getting $1 million listing appointment as your first deal. All right. So what's the point? Success can be boring. However you define success, just know it's likely going to involve a lot of repetition. I've got to get in, I've got to break a lead generation sweat every day. I've got to get into the lead generation gym, build the lead gen muscle memory to the point where I don't have to think about it anymore. To a point where, probably much like you, my sister, I jokingly say this, one of my sisters, she's sick, man. She's sick. Why? Because she runs like, I don't even know, 8, 10 miles or something like that every morning. I'm like, sister, good for you. And you know what else? She's been doing it for so long. She will tell you, and you know people like this. Maybe you are one. She'll say that, yeah, if a day goes by where she doesn't get that in the morning, her day feels off. Just feels funky. Just not. I'm like, wow, I really admire that. And look, there's areas of my life that like that too. I'm kind of self-deprecating humor here, but I don't have that yet in the health and wellness realm. But there are things I do in the business or personal family realm that if I don't do it, yeah, I know what that feels like. It does feel a little off. Imagine a world where if we just apply this and work that muscle and create that muscle memory, that it actually feels weird if you don't talk to people every day about real estate than making it a habit or a chore that you do. There's a different perspective. Great quote out there that says something to the effect of amateurs practice until they get it right. Professionals practice until they can't get it wrong. Do you want to be an amateur in real estate or do you want to be a professional? Because you just have to submit to the fact that this is repetition. I got to get reps in, man. That's the only way I'm going to get shredded. I'm going to get cut. I got to get reps in. And by doing so, I'm building muscle memory to the point where I don't really have to think about it anymore. It just becomes a part of who I am. So are we willing to accept the boredom, the repetition, in other words, that is associated with mastering something? As real estate agents, think about that. And I said this kind of earlier, another little cutesy reference in our childhood days. Finish the sentence for me. Everybody knows it. An apple a day keeps the
Doctor away.
doctor away. High five. Good job. We all know this, but have we ever thought about the wisdom in that? Why didn't the doc say, hey, it doesn't matter whether you eat an apple a day or 7 on a Sunday? The point is that you ate 7. That's not what he said, though. He or she said, right? They didn't say 7 apples on a Sunday keeps the doctor away. They said an apple a day keeps the doctor away. What is the principle? What is the lesson? Consistency. Time on task. So I'm going to have an agent. I'm getting ready to get into some number crunchy stuff here. I will have agents say, well, who cares, Jake? Does it really matter? You're telling me to make, for example, 5 conversations a day for 5 days a week. Well, does it really matter then if I just talk to 25 people on Sunday? Isn't it all the same? No, it's actually not. You're missing the entire point. Just like I said, Claudia doesn't get to go to the gym 1 time a week and expect to be, in the shape that she wants to be in. It's time on task. It's consistency. Same thing applies here. I use a lot of analogies and metaphors because sometimes it hits differently when we apply it to things outside of business. So I love this graphic. Carissa, of course, did this. Let's dive in. I want to show you some math so we can all become a mathlete right here and break a mental sweat. So check this out real quick. Today, 5 to 25 challenge. But let's start with 1. Just follow me here. If I made 1 conversation about real estate per day consistently for 5 days a week for 50 weeks out of the year. So I'm giving you weekends off, for example, and 2 weeks off for holidays and vacations. Just humor me. That would mean I work 250 days a year. Well, because I said I'm making one real estate conversation a day, that's 250 conversations. Here's the important number. And if you don't know this for your business, please start tracking it. And in the meantime, use mine. I have tracked this, so has Katrina, and it is scary, scary accurate still. For newer, lesser experienced agents or in more difficult, challenging markets, 50 to 1, 50 to 1, 2%, 50 to 1. Take it to the bank. Here's what that means. For every 50 real estate two-way conversations, it will ultimately yield you one new piece of business. Fight me, challenge it, prove me wrong. 2%. Okay. Now, I didn't say for every 50 immediately, no, but you'll be able to trace back and the law of averages takes over. I promise you it's going to be ballpark scary accurate to that number. So if we apply that simple math here, I speak to 250 people a year about real estate at 2%, I can project 5 closings. Okay. Now, this is where it gets goofy, but we can make this available to anybody who wants this spreadsheet. It's just an example, okay? Let's say your average sales price is 325. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Commissions are always negotiable. Antitrust, okay? 2.5%, let's pretend is an average commission split. And let's say you're at a brokerage giving 30% away, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. You can always manipulate this. The point is you will have grossed 40K. And after expenses and all that crap, you're going to probably take home net 13 grand. By the way, after taxes too. Now, I would pause here and it's like, what do you like? For most people, and I know the ones on this Zoom right now, this is not acceptable. This is not the 1 to 5 challenge today. Okay. But it's just math. There's no emotion behind the numbers. Numbers don't show favoritism. It's just math. So watch what happens next. What if I go to 3? I did not mess with any other variable. I just said, you know what? What if I do 3 a day consistently? I talk to 3 people a day, just whatever, about real estate. Even if I'm dual career or the busiest agent on planet Earth, can't convince me this is not possible. Everything else stays the same. Now I will have talked to 750 people over the course of a year, compound effect. 2%. Ooh, now we're talking. For a lot of people, actually, this is a very attractive number. 15 sales is no joke. This is a great livelihood for a lot of people. This money spends at Walmart where I come from. Okay. If you do this in this example, congratulations. When you said, I want to earn 6 figures in real estate, you literally just earned 6 figures in real estate here. That's 120K. Or did what you mean is I would like to net 6 figures? Please note there's a drastic difference. So again, for each person, these numbers below will be different. But in this example, this individual, minus expenses, minus taxes and everything, will net cash money in the bank, 53 grand. That's pretty good for a lot of folks. A lot of people would be very happy with that. But again, this is not the 3 to 15 challenge. So watch what happens next. 5. Is there anything unreasonable about saying, I can talk to 5 people a day? A lot of you probably are. You're just not doing it consistently. You're not tracking it. You're not being purposeful about it. But there's nothing hard about talking to 5. And by the way, I don't mean phone call. I don't care, frankly, the means. I think Katrina feels the same about this. What I care about, so we're clear, is a two-way conversation. Whether that's through text messaging, my God, it's 2025, people. Okay. I do a lot of mine through Facebook DMs and stuff. I'm very good at doing that. I don't care. Belly to belly, on the phone, text, DM, don't care. It's 2025. What I do care about is it's two-way. You don't get to count email blasts. And that somewhere in that conversation, the topic of real estate comes up. Whether they brought it up or you did. Count it, count it, count it. Okay? 5 a day. Get your reps in. If you do that, you will have had 1,250 real estate conversations over the course of the year. P.S. I'm giving you 2 days off, 2 weeks. I mean, you can manipulate that all you want. At a 2% conversion rate, bada bing, bada boom, 25 sales. Congratulations, you are in the top 3 to 5% according to NAR. Put that on the fridge. Mom and dad are proud. Okay. Now, if all these other things don't change and you're not at a capped commission company, whatever, whatever, again, all of this will be different for each person, but just humor me. That's $200,000 of gross commission in my example. And most of you are probably not paying 60 grand to your broker. Maybe your expenses probably would be higher than that. But if you're paying that much to Uncle Sam, you need to fire your accountant and hire somebody new. So whatever, let's just safely assume that's netting about 100K. Netting. And you don't owe back taxes because you're smart and you're a responsible business person and you took that money and set it aside. I'm talking cash money in the bank here. Go live life. Go take that vacation. For what? For five? Can we please get some perspective? Did your last boss pay you net 6 figures a year for talking to 5 people a day? Or did they shove you in the cubicle and said, quiet down, just do this? What are we like? This is not hard. We make it hard, but this is actually not hard. It takes discipline. It takes muscle memory. But anything worth doing and succeeding at probably requires that of you anyways. So I'm not done. I have one more of these. Watch what happens because Coach K and I still refer to as a coach. I can't help it. Are not the type of coaches that necessarily say more, 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 like a lot of gurus and, oh, take your goal and double it. You're not doing enough. Do 3x that. Maybe, I mean, maybe that is the diagnosis, but not so fast. So if even some people out there are not satisfied or happy with this, or just time goes on, is it fair to assume that the longer I do something, I get better at it? Yes or yes? Yeah. Is it fair to assume that once I get over 3, 4, 5 years in real estate, that actually the boomerang starts happening? People start coming to me. Past clients start coming back to me and needing my help again, or referring me to a friend or family member. This happens, yeah? So there's other variables like this little sweetheart that will improve. You're not a 2%er. This will grow. This will improve over time. We're saying 2 out of 100 people you talk to have a need or know somebody who has a need. So what if, as you get busier and busier and busier, we don't jack with this number anymore, but we manipulate this one because you're better? Watch. Huh. 5 a day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks out of the year, still that number of conversations. Oh, but I went from 2 to 5%. I got better. My skill set, my database now knows what I do for a living. Ba-boom. 63 homes. What the? Yeah. 500,000 of GCI. All this just gets, okay, whatever, bonkers. But even if this assumption was true, you're still netting $250,000 for talking to 5 people today and getting better at your skills. What are we doing? Go get it. Go get what's yours. Now, here's the problem for a lot of people. I'll get to the last page. They have this conditioning, limiting belief, programming around this very topic of lead gen. If you can't get that right, your mind is always going to fight for average. So lead gen, prospecting can be ugly words to people because they've assigned a definition to it. And a lot of you don't even know where you got that belief system from in the first place. Most people assign the meaning of lead gen or prospecting to salesy, slimy, bothering people, being annoying, right? But I can change that maybe in a heartbeat if you're open and receptive. And I credit different coach Katrina actually for this years ago, who said, no, it's not lead generation, it's need generation. NEED, need. Go need generate. People have needs, they have goals. And maybe, just maybe, if it's not every 7 to 9 years where they are looking to do something in real estate, you better figure out another way to be important in their life and talk about something other than, hey, who do you know looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate? Gross. Hey, you got any honeydew projects, any home improvement projects coming up? Maybe I can refer you to a great vendor partner of mine. Hey, you going to the concert this weekend? You going to homecoming football game? See you there. Find something else to talk about, right? Otherwise, they will stop dodging you and answering your calls and texts. Right? But anyways, I don't know where I was going with that. Just ask yourself though, what is it? What could prevent you now that you have this awareness and the simplicity? What could prevent you from having 5 conversations a day? Time, distractions, excuses, busyness. Okay, I hear it all. Procrastination. Yep. But you got to get real with yourself and find somebody like a coach, Katrina, that cares enough about you, that's willing to call you out and hold you accountable. It's not, accountability shouldn't be pain. It's not writing a check to the political party you don't stand for. It's not Katrina holding up her cell phone, live streaming you on Facebook as you sing I'm a Little Teapot in the Walmart parking lot. It doesn't have to be that. Accountability is whatever you need it to be. Oftentimes it's somebody like her or I holding up the mirror and saying, Claudia, you said you wanted this. You said here's what you were willing to do to get it. I'm just confused because the actions aren't matching the audio here. So is this still important to you, or has something changed? I'm just asking questions here. It's just holding up the mirror, holding somebody able, holding somebody in a moment of integrity to do what they said they were going to do for the reasons they said they wanted to do it. That's accountability. What if you treated this time, this talk to 5 people? That's all I'm asking. Try it on for a week. And if you like it, keep going. Try it for 30 days. If you like that, go to 90 days. Let's build the muscle memory of this, okay? You fall off the horse, get back on. But what if you treated that time block? I don't know, is it 30 minutes? Is it an hour? How long would it take you to go talk to 5 people? I don't know. But treat that like $1 million listing appointment. What do I mean? You're not going to cancel that. I guarantee if you had a $1 million listing appointment this afternoon at 4 o'clock, you're prepping for it now. You're showing up at your highest and best. You certainly ain't canceling it. You're dressed to the nines. You got all your material ready to go. You're prepared. If you lose the opportunity, it's not going to because you weren't ready. Just weren't right for that person. And I can live with that. But why do we cancel this lead generation or follow-up appointment time with ourselves always? It's the first thing that gets pushed aside. And all you're doing then is building muscle memory and teaching yourself that it's okay to break promises with yourself. In what world does that make sense? Now, I'm not Mr. Perfect. I struggle with this just like anybody else. But I play games in my mind. It helps. And here's one of them. Might sound a little weird to you, but that's okay. I literally pretend every day that there's a camera up in the corner of my office here, and it's live streaming to my children. That anytime they can pull out their cell phone or pull me up at home or at school and see what's dad doing. See, I don't come to work anymore to monkey around. I don't just doom scroll. If I'm going to be here and I'm making a conscious choice to be away from my family, damn it, I'm working. And this isn't like a braggy thing. I don't mean it that way, but I generally will get more done in one day than a lot of people get done in a week. I really do. There's no white space. There's no jacking around. I might as well go home and be with my family, the ones I claim I'm working so hard for, if I'm just here screwing off. But I make that conscious decision now to pretend as if they're watching, and is daddy making them proud? Is daddy role modeling the behavior that I want them growing up seeing? And that's just what works for me. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But it helps, right? Last thing, Land the plane here. How are we doing on time? We're good. Katrina's heard this 1,000 times, and I don't think it ever hurts to hear it again, you know? You've heard us talk about this muscle memory thing, building the muscle memory, getting into the gym, metaphorically or literally, to the point where it's just second nature. And that's called commitment. That's making a decision. Commitment is doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling or emotion when you said it has passed. I will repeat it one more time. Think about New Year's resolutions, by the way, when I say it. Commitment is doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling or emotion when you said it has passed. I hate New Year's resolutions. I think they're a joke, first of all. Why? Because most people, new year, new me, and they're all jacked up for a couple of weeks. And then it's like, hey, dude, anybody seen Billy Bob? I haven't seen him. Guess he fell off. It just doesn't work. Because Billy Bob was interested. Billy Bob was not committed. He was interested. And I would encourage all of you today to make a decision. It can be a hell yeah or hell no, but none of this maybe in between land stuff. Think about the five a day. Can you talk to 5 people? The day is still young. It's not even noon yet. Go talk to 5 people. Message 5 people. Text 5 people. Go to the grocery store. Go to Target. Talk to 5 people. Whatever you need to do. And that's making a decision. And any word with side, C-I-D-E, you see it on your screen, side, literally, the definition of that is to kill off. So when you think of other words, insecticide, pesticide, I won't say another, like any word with side in it means to literally kill off. So in today's context, when I decide, I make a decision, that means I'm killing off everything else. Well, for today, maybe I'm killing off being average. I'm just done. I deserve better. Maybe you're killing off procrastination. You're killing off mediocrity. You're killing off complacency. You're killing off your excuses. I don't know. All I'm asking you is to figure that out and then make a decision. Like actually make a decision. Claudia decides because it's so important to her. I'm assuming I'm just met her that how she looks, how she feels, taking care of her body, the temple that God gave her is really, really important. Not just for how she looks, but probably the confidence, how she feels, sleeps better, more energy, all the benefits of going to the gym. And I don't know this to be true. Correct me in the record if I'm wrong, but I'll bet there's days you don't feel like it. I'll bet there's actions and lifts and different things that you probably don't exactly enjoy.
Today.
Today even.
Today.
Probably means it's leg day. See? But you did it. And why did you do it? Because you've decided, you said you would, and you're committed to doing what you said you were going to do for the benefits. The temporary pain or discomfort is not going to outweigh all the benefits from it. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Then I give you nothing different from that in the world of real estate as it relates to no, we're going to correct our language. Need generation and talking to 5 people today without an ulterior motive and just say, how can I help you? What's going on? What's coming up this fall? You guys got any home improvement projects? What are you most excited about? Going on a vacation this winter? Just freaking talk to them. Because I have learned in a normal conversation, especially in a world that needs it, um, if you ask enough questions to somebody else, and generally as adults, it's around kids, dogs, work, I'm just going to have an organic conversation. How's work going? And eventually, if they're like somewhat normal of a human, if you're asking them, what are they going to do back? Ask you. Now that they've talked, they're going to think, well, gosh, I should probably ask Claudia, how's work going for you? What are you up to these days? And that's when the real estate gods open up the clouds as long as you don't blow it, because that's your trigger. That's your moment. You say, you know what? Things are great. I'm going into 2026 with goals to help, 24 families upgrade their lifestyle through home ownership. And I'm really excited, and I really bank on the help of my friends and family that if you ever know of somebody looking to buy, sell, invest, you think of me and give me a chance to help them out. That's just organic. There's nothing weird or salesy about this. And it all happened in the context of a normal conversation, not just what we call inappropriately a booty call. A booty call is when you call somebody just when you need something. Hey, Katrina, it's my quarterly call. Do you know anybody looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate? That is a real estate booty call. If the only time you call me or reach out to me is when you need something, probably not going to have a great relationship. So I know I did a lot of blabbing today, but anything, Coach, that you want to add to this, because you are no stranger to this concept, or any ahas or questions, Claudia, from this?
Katrina, you go first.
Well, I'll just say it's always such a good reminder, just getting back to the basics, having conversations. And also, too, I think there's a lot of freedom in knowing that, hey, I'm going to improve if I keep doing this, just like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So if I keep going, it's going to get better because you talk about how like as you get stronger at what you say and your leads are warmer, your sphere is warmer, people start to trust you. It takes 2 years for people to see you in your new role
Mm-hmm.
as whatever you are, insurance specialist, doctor. I mean, I guarantee you right now, if you graduated medical school and you were a doctor, your dad might not want you to operate on him yet, right? But
Mhm.
2 years down the road, they're like, oh, she's still a doctor. She's actually a doctor. She's posted things. She's talked about it. I've seen her. I've seen her work. I've seen her in the hospital. You start to have that validity. So it takes time. And what I like to do is if someone's listening to this and they're like, well, how do I get started? Think of a time where you were the most committed to something in your life. What did you do?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, like when I quit drinking, it was because I did a 30-day challenge. I had no goal to go beyond that. But what I did was I immersed myself for 30 days and I learned, I was open-minded, open heart. I wanted to learn. And that's what I did. Every day I listened to something about alcohol and I really paid attention to the way I felt and I stayed consistent on the things I was doing every day. And then when I did that, I was like, I don't think alcohol's for me. That was my determination in 30 days. But I also said, wow, this is as committed I've ever been to changing a habit. What else can I commit to doing for just 30 days to see what happens? And that's when, shortly after that, I did my weight loss journey. It's like, what? I told my coach then, I said, all right, I'll give it 30 days. I'll give it 30 days. I'm all in for 30 days. And I think with most things, if we go all in on something for 30 days, our minds will be changed. We will be believers. And when you lead yourself, oh my gosh, the game changes. Like you're untouchable then because you're a leader of yourself. And the last thing I'll say, because I can get preachy on all this, because I think our, habits can make us or break us.
That's right.
Totally. So the other thing I'll say is that when we don't keep promises to ourselves is when we lose confidence in ourselves. So if you can just keep your promise for a whole day, and sometimes it's minute by minute, hour by hour. I love that, Jake, where you're like,
Yep.
I'm gonna work as if my kids are watching kind of thing. That's what you need to
Weird.
do. That's what you need to tell yourself. That works, right? So just get through 24 hours and then you're like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna set my intentions on doing this again and again and again. So, and watch your confidence soar when you keep those promises to yourself. And okay, one more last thing, and then I'm done. Okay,
Feels good to
because now
get it out, doesn't
I
it?
feel coachy. I feel coachy.
Chef left.
The other thing is sometimes we implement too much too fast, and that's why we fail. because most people can only tackle one new habit changing activity at a time. So
Mhm.
just like if you wanted to get healthy, maybe you shouldn't, restrict your calorie intake and commit to the gym. And also you want to read a book every day. That's why 75 hard, so many people fail at it because it's a
And drinking a
lot.
gallon of water a day.
It's too much. So sometimes it's just starting with, I'm going to drink my water every day first for 10 days or 12 days, and then I'm going to do this. So just do one thing at a time, make your calls, whatever it is. Don't commit to too many changes at once.
That's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think I've been working really hard in the trusting yourself. Um, it's more so a few months ago, I was like having some self-trust issues and like, okay, well, if you say you're gonna do something, do it. And I literally just started with like getting out of bed in the morning at this time. Like get out of bed and go start your day.
Yep.
And then that started to flow with like other things. So I feel like that kind of combines both of them. But my takeaways, first of all, I think you're awesome. I think you're cool.
Oh, thank you. Can you tell my
I
family
do.
that, please? Because or at least my girls.
Can you tell his daughters he's cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll know
Wait,
someday.
I got Coach
tell
Dad's
Car-
shirt on today. Coach Dad.
Oh, I like
wait,
it.
tell Carissa. She'll love to hear
Oh,
that.
shit. I'm not cool in her eyes at all. I still got a chance with my two daughters, though. I'm sorry. Keep going, Claudia.
Oh, you're fine, you're fine. I really loved the to see the math and the spreadsheets, like just the visually seeing that is really great. I think I have been overcomplicating it. When
Join
I
the
first
club.
got into it, right? We Katrina and we talked about 5 contacts every day. Like we had this daily activity record sheet and 5 contacts every day was your goal. And I think I've strayed from that for sure. And
Yeah.
I'm just trying to overcompensate in other areas and I just need to go back to the basics. So this was a very good reminder.
That's it. The word that you just, the basics, the fundamentals. I mean, really, truly, that's it. And Katrina's, God, sorry for her ears having to hear my same examples probably over and over, but I share often that I used to run an indoor baseball training facility, like teaching kids lessons, camps, clinics, that kind of thing around baseball and softball. And I would always explain to them that the guys that I played with, that we're now watching on television, earning millions of dollars every day, what you don't see is they start putting a ball on a tee and they take hundreds of swings every day off of a tee. And I've got guys that I'm teaching who are 12 years old who are like, come on, coach, this is tee-ball stuff. Let's just get in it. You know what I mean? I'm like, listen,
Mhm.
man, the same way that those guys grip the bat, hold the ball, is literally what I'm teaching you. There's no difference. The fundamentals of the game don't change from here to there. What does change, check this out, is the speed. The speed, the tempo of the game is what changes. So in Little League, when they're throwing 55 miles an hour, but holding and doing all the same mechanical stuff the same way, now in the major leagues, they're throwing 95 miles an hour. The lesson is the game doesn't change, the game only speeds up. So in real estate, the game doesn't change, guys. It's a contact sport. Go talk to 5 people, for example, every day. But now what happens, instead of you closing 12 homes per year, you're closing 112 homes per year. The game did not change. The game only sped up. But we cannot forget the blocking and tackling, the fundamentals. You will never meet a black belt in karate who has not mastered the basics. That's exactly why they're a black belt in karate. They have mastered all of that stuff. It's right in front of us. We just got to sometimes think about things differently and then go execute.
Yeah.
So, all right. Hopefully this was good. And here, let me stop the recording. Jeez.
Well,
Actually,
if
it's
you
good.
recorded me saying you're awesome, you can show your daughters.
Ooh,